Hello, everybody, and my name is Jacob Gomez, and my topic deals with the problems bullying can have on a developing adolescent. Now, bullying among adolescents, or just bullying in general, has been a subject of concern throughout the years. One of the many questions that arises is, how does bullying actually affect the development of teenagers? We know that teenagers are developing both mentally and physically. And at this stage in life, teenagers are greatly influenced by peers and are bombarded by external stimuli, such as movies, TV, music, parents, coaches, and the list can go on. But teenagers, during this stage of life, are highly involved in many social interactions. Teenagers are trying to fit in. They're trying to find out who they are as a person. They're trying to make friends. They're trying to find out things that they like and love to do. And many things that are involved are peer pressure, joining cliques, joining clubs, dating, making friends and losing friends. All of these and much more can contribute to a teenager's development. Now, for a teenager, they are still in the development stages and in certain stages in their body. For example, the brain. The brain is still developing. The brain hasn't matured yet. And one of the areas that hasn't matured yet is the prefrontal cortex. And studies show that the prefrontal cortex is highly important for us, for humans. But because it hasn't fully developed in teenagers, it can affect teenagers in various ways. Because the prefrontal cortex is important for things like controlling impulses, emotions, and forming judgments, teenagers can have rapid mood changes. They can love somebody at 1 minute and then absolutely hate the same person the next day. Now, I can go on and on about the different parts of the brain or the body that are developing in a teenager, but I'll just move on to it right now. So, bullying among teens leads to dysfunctions of various stages of a teenager's body. So, the definition of bullying is repeated acts of verbal, physical, or psychological attacks. And the consequences of such abuse among teens can have adverse effects. The book states that children who are bullied are likely to be affected both mentally and physically. And psychological scientists stated that bully victims are at greater risk for health problems in adulthood, such as psychiatric disorders. These psychiatric disorders can include depression and anxiety. And depression and anxiety are the forefront of bullying and depression. If you take depression, if you take a teenager that is bullied and they have depression, you can tell the victim is going to be depressed and they're not going to want to go to school. They're not going to want to interact with people. They're not going to be motivated to do things. They're not going to want to talk to their parents. They're not going to want to do the things that they used to like to do or love to do. And depression can also lead to other disorders such as eating disorders. If they feel that people are judging them because of their weight, they're going to do things to their body that will make them lose this weight. For example, binge eating. That's an example. Now, the other one is anxiety. And anxiety can include both panic attacks and phobias. When a bully victim who is a teenager has anxiety, they have trouble interacting with people. They have trouble fitting into groups. They have trouble finding friends. Things that can also happen include not being able to get enough sleep because they're having nightmares because of the bullying. And one article states that the biggest outcome to bullying is suicide, and is the second leading cause of of death for adolescents. So the reason why I chose this topic and why I did some research on this was because as a future teacher, I'm going to be responsible for my students, for my community, and in my school. And as a bullying victim myself, I know the effects. I went through, and I'm still going through, depression and anxiety because of what happened in the past. I know what these teenagers are going through, and once I become a teacher, once I interact with these teenagers that are going through the things that I went through, I can talk to them. I can help them. I don't want them to go through things that can change their lives or change the lives of other people that love them. I see the news of school shootings, of teenagers taking their own lives because of bullying, and I want to prevent that. This is why I chose this topic. I wanted to research more about the teenager's mind and what's actually going on in their head. I wanted to find out why are these teenagers shooting up schools? Why are these teenagers taking their own lives? Why? What's going on? In their body, in their mind, and I just need to do something about it because I know what they feel. I've been through those suicidal thoughts. I've been through pretty bad bullying throughout junior high and high school, and I won't go into it. But anyways, this was my topic, and I did learn a lot about a about the developing teenager's body and the effects bullying can have on a teenager, and I learned a lot about it. So, nonetheless, I want to thank you for listening, and if you have any questions or want to leave a comment, just do so. Thank you.